Why is it so much harder for someone who grew up poor to get rich, even if they start the exact same business with the exact same resources, the same education, and the same timeline as someone who came from wealth? That's because 95% of everything we do is driven by our subconscious mind. And if you grew up poor, your subconscious mind was wired to stay poor despite how hard you work now. By the age of 7, most of your core beliefs are already programmed by your environment, how people around you react to money, to mistakes, to risks, how they view success. Whereas wealthy families raise kids with curiosity, most of the time emotional stability, and exposure to growth. Poor families raise kids in survival mode. That difference shapes everything about how you think, how you feel, and how you act as an adult. Now, before I give you the breakdown, understand this. This is not a pity list for you to start feeling sorry for yourself or feel resentment towards people who grew up more privileged. In fact, nothing on this channel is about feeling sorry for yourself. This video is here to bring light to your blind spots so that we can change it. Now, on the other hand, you should give yourself a little bit more compassion as to why things have felt harder, why you haven't gone farther than you expected by this point, and why you see others get ahead of you while you're struggling, even though you're working just as hard, if not even harder. This is also your call to action to start working on things that have been working against you this whole time. So, compassion, yes. Pity party? No. All right, now let's get into it. Reason number 1, if you grew up poor, there's a really good chance that your parents taught you rich people are evil. You will never become rich if your subconscious believes that rich people are bad. You can hustle, you can grind, and you can chase every opportunity. But if deep down you believe rich equals evil, you will push away money subconsciously in every way possible. See, most people raised in poverty were taught rich people are greedy, they lie, they cheat, they hurt others. And even if they didn't always say it outright, they showed you with their tone, with the resentment in their voice whenever a rich person appeared on TV, with the way they reacted to the news stories about another billionaire exploiting something. And over time, that belief got locked into your subconscious mind. Now, consciously and logically, you probably understand that this is not true. You know there's good and bad rich people, and there's good and bad poor people. So here's the quickest test to see if your subconscious still believes rich equals evil. So when you hear the word billionaire, what's the first emotion that comes up? And if you feel something negative towards that word, such as greed, corruption, that's your subconscious mind telling you exactly what it thinks about rich people. And that means your programming still believes being rich makes you a bad person. But the reality is there's a lot of bad poor people too. Good or bad has nothing to do with your wealth status. Many wealthy people became wealthy through creativity, service, strategy, or simply playing the long game. They created a solution many people are willing to pay for. But your mind associates wealth with wrongdoing. And if it believes wealth is bad, then you will never be rich. So now, every time money gets close, your subconscious panics. You self-sabotage, you overspend, you settle for less, because in your mind, wealth makes you the villain. Your subconscious mind will work and do everything possible to keep you safe, to protect you from being the evil person. But here's the truth. Money doesn't change you. It reveals you. It amplifies who you are. If you're a good person now, you'll still be a good person with millions of dollars. You'll be able to help your family. You will donate to the causes that you care about. You will elevate everybody around you. So no, being rich doesn't make you bad. That subconscious belief will keep you broke. So what is the solution? You need to reprogram the story. Because if your mind can't hold build wealth, your hands never will. This is a big reason why so many people try to get out of poverty and become rich, but they keep self-sabotaging because deep down, they were taught that having money makes them evil. Reason number 2, you were taught that money equals struggle, sacrifice, and scarcity. You will never feel safe with money if you believe it has to come with pain. You were taught that money is pain, and your subconscious, it is here to protect you. This means if money equals pain, we don't want it. Your subconscious pushes money away. You were raised hearing things like money doesn't grow on trees, we can't afford that, you have to work hard for your money. So what did your subconscious learn? You have to struggle for money. Let's stay away from that. It also learned that you have to suffer, you have to grind, you have to give up your peace to make money. Here's a quick test to show you this in real time. Let's say someone came to you right now and offered you double your usual rate for a project. Same work, same time, just more money. How do you feel? And if you feel like you need to over-deliver, you feel guilt, you feel like you need to make up for it, that is a clear sign your subconscious still believes money must be earned through sacrifice, through hard work. And here is the dangerous part. Even now, you associate getting paid more with having to work harder. Here's where we need to get very clear. There's a difference between working hard and believing struggle is the only path to success and to making money. Now, working hard in a healthy way means showing up with consistency, passion, and discipline. It means challenging yourself, growing, giving value. That is beautiful. That is required. But it is not the same thing as believing you must exhaust yourself to the bone, to the ground, and that you must abandon your own needs and you hustle to justify higher pay. Your subconscious is still running on the old program. That means your subconscious still believes money equals struggle. So what happens when money starts to flow? Your subconscious starts to chop, time to push money away or get into the pain state. You feel guilty for resting. You self-sabotage your peace because deep down, you don't believe you're allowed to earn with ease. But who taught you that you need to work 16-hour days, 7 days a week just to become rich? This is false because we both know if you do 16-hour days, 7 days a week, you're not that productive for many of those hours. You've been programmed to believe that success must be exhausting, that wealth must come with so much sacrifice, and that abundance is only for those who suffer enough to earn it. This is not true. You don't need to bleed to be worthy of overflow. Yes, effort is a part of the journey, but struggle is a false belief that you need to get rid of. Because if you believe that money only comes through pain, you will unconsciously keep choosing pain to feel worthy of receiving it, but not a penny more. If you can't suffer more, you can't get money more. Your burnout point becomes your income ceiling. Now, do you see where that is a huge problem? The solution is you need to get to the root cause of that belief and replace it with a new one. Reason number 3 is it takes poor kids longer to reach wealth because they have more to learn from scratch. Wealthy kids get handed something most people never talk about, and that is educated parents. And that's one of the most underrated generational advantages there is. We're talking about how they're raised to think. Educated parents teach their kids how to reason, how to ask better questions, how to weigh out risks, how to understand systems every day for 18 years. Every dinner table conversation, every car ride, every what do you think we should do moment. It's all education by educated parents. And it compounds over thousands of small lessons that poor kids do not get. Poor kids don't get that advantage. It's because their parents usually don't have higher education and they are also in survival mode. Being in poverty causes stress, overwork, and a lot of different types of traumas. The focus is often pay the bills, stay out of trouble, be grateful, don't stir up anything, walk on eggshells, and don't be a burden. So what happens when both kids are 18 years old? The wealthy kid turns 18 with thousands of lessons and pieces of knowledge ahead than the poor kid. And these lessons directly relate to how successful they are later on in life. It's how to network, how to invest, how to speak with confidence, how to negotiate, how to solve problems without panic. And even if both kids went to the same college, their foundations are not the same. This is why poor kids fail more in the beginning and take longer. So if that's you, don't shame yourself for taking longer. You're not behind. You're right on track with what you were given. But now that you know this, again, don't feel sorry for yourself. Be compassionate and chop so that your kids don't have to start from scratch like you did. Reason number 6, chaos at home rewires your nervous system, and that affects how you function for life. You see, your nervous system is the body's internal alert system. It controls how you react to stress, how you regulate emotions, and feel safe in the world. If you grew up in a calm, stable home, your system stays balanced. But if you grew up in chaos, it gets stuck in survival mode. And that affects how you show up, how you think, how you function for decades to come, unless you fix it. If you grow up around yelling, sudden mood swings, or constant tension, your body learned to stay on guard. This is called hypervigilance, a nervous system stuck in survival mode. This drains your energy because you're always scanning for danger. You can't relax even when things are fine. Later in life, that shows up as self-sabotage, creating drama when things get too calm because you only know how to function in chaos. And that deeply affects your ability to build wealth because wealth requires good relationships, long-term thinking, patience, emotional regulation, calm, grounded decision making. But when your nervous system is dysregulated, you react instead of responding. You overthink or avoid decisions. You burn out fast. You crash hard. You struggle to trust stability. So you yourself disrupt it. Even when good things start happening, your body doesn't trust it. It pushes them away because chaos feels familiar. Safety doesn't. People around you can feel that. They can pick up on that energy. In business or leadership, it shows up as inconsistent energy, controlling tendency, poor boundaries, emotional volatility, lack of trust, or overcompensation. Now, when the bills are paid and home is stable, children develop nervous systems that know how to rest. That creates emotional balance, which becomes confidence, leads to opportunities that eventually leads to wealth. And this brings us to a huge difference. The poor kid was in survival mode. So if you grew up in chaos, you need to focus on bringing your nervous system to feel safe and balanced so that wealth can come into your life and you don't push it away. Otherwise, you'll subconsciously reject the very life you're trying so hard to build. Building wealth when you grew up poor is harder because the way your entire system was set up from when you were a child, if you don't fix it, it is not capable of holding wealth. You need to rewire yourself. And that's why people admire those who make it from nothing that much more. Because it wasn't just about changing your mindset and working hard until you make it. It goes so much deeper than that. The good news is that your mind can be rewired, and it's easier than you think. Your beliefs can be replaced with new ones. You can unlearn to associate struggle with wealth. And now that you see it clearly, you can shift it. Let me know in the comments which belief hit the hardest for you. I'd love to hear your story. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.